So we were actually not together at that moment. And we were looking. No, we were not together. I was looking for a whole new spot by myself. Your girl was fed up. All right. Happy Sunday, folks. You've made it to another week, and welcome back to this Thing of Ours podcast,
where we talk about all of life's highs and lows
and everything in between. Do I have any pizza in my tea?
No.
You guys, I just ate one of the very, very best gluten-free pizzas that I've tasted thus far. Usually, if I try it from like Domino's or something, no shade, but I feel like a lot of people make the crust so flat. I feel like I'm eating cardboard. This pizza, I'm gonna put a picture on above the screen. This is not sponsored by in any means, but I'm out of breath. I just ran up the stairs to get my slippers. But this crust is like thick. It actually makes me feel like I'm eating like a pizza again, and I'm not eating like a flat cardboard with just some cheese on it. It's really, really good. You guys gotta try it and then let me know what you think. And it was certified. It had like the Canadian Celiac Association. I believe that's what it says on the box. So it was certified, so you know that it's actually gluten-free. It's so good. So how's everyone's morning, afternoons going? How's your morning going?
It's going good so far. I mean, it is afternoon now. This morning, didn't really do too much. Kind of just sat around and spent time on social media, just scrolling through, and time just flew by.
It's true, it does. As you can see, we already kind of got our little decoration thing going for this podcast. We got everything actually from the dollar store. I think it came together really good. Like we got the tree, the lights, the garland, and the little pine cones with the fake little snow. I'm not sure if you can see the fake little snow going on, but I'm really happy with our little decoration so far. So let us know if you guys started decorating yet. Are you going to decorate? And let me know if you've decorated outside. I feel like we should have done that because now it's like in the negatives.
It's starting to get cold and there is snow already.
Mm-hmm.
So we
and ice.
Yeah.
Tell me how I almost bailed walking trumpet yesterday.
Oh, yeah?
Yes. I was wearing shoes. I don't have any boots yet. But I was walking him and next thing you know, I just slipped. But I caught myself. But you know when like you slip and you get that little mini like heart attack? You're like, oh.
You light flash before your eyes.
Yes.
But yeah, no, it is actually kind of icy outside right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like just trying to get over the small little curb in the driveway. I didn't put my winter tires on yet. I'm supposed to do that this weekend, but actually I was supposed to do it last weekend and I didn't.
Procrastination. Yeah. So if you missed last week's episode where we talked about procrastination, here's a sneak peek of what you missed.
If you do have a goal that you want to achieve, like you don't necessarily need to wait till 2023 to start a goal, but have maybe that goal or that New Year's resolution to stick with that goal throughout the entire year, and create a habit around it, right? If you want to do something, you can start now. You don't have to wait. But
see, that's the thing. We're always waiting for the Monday. So the last two episodes, we did mention how we were going to start this jar with topics that you would want to hear from us. And thank you to everyone who has DM'd us on Instagram or who has mentioned anything in the comment sections about topics. We definitely put the topics in a jar. And that's what we're going to be doing today. So thank you. And if you have any topics that you want us to talk about on this podcast, you can always DM us on Instagram or comment underneath our videos. And we will definitely add that to it.
Or you can subscribe to the channel and help us get that community tab.
Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good way to add that in. Subscribe to the channel, like this video, join the family. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Welcome to the family if you are new.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. All right. So I'm going to get this jar. First, let me take a sip of my drink.
I thought you were reaching down for the jar. You reached down for your tea.
I am. I'm thirsty. I'm very parched.
Oh, yeah.
I only started saying that word because of you.
Anybody else use that word, parched? I only say it like as a joke, kind of. I don't say it because like that's the word I actually use all the time.
Yeah.
But like
I know you only say when you actually want me to get you like a glass of water.
Babe, give me a drink. I'm parched.
It's actually true. He does say that. So that's why I actually started saying it. It's just to make fun of him. But yes, we got our jar right here full of topics. So one of us is going to pick one out. Kurtis, would you like to be the first one to take one topic out of the thing? I should have folded them better, so I'm sorry. Just don't look. Oh, brother, I already saw the one he's choosing.
All right, so what we got? I don't know if you guys can actually see that, but it is story time. Moving in together.
I can sum this up real quick.
So how would you sum it up?
Came over and never left. The end of the story.
Thanks for tuning in to the podcast. No.
Have a blessed day.
No, that's not exactly how it happened.
That's exactly how I actually remember it, though.
Like,
I do. I remember you coming over and then never leaving.
Well,
and I didn't fight it.
I mean, it can't be exactly how it happened because we were talking for like 3 months.
I thought we were talking more than that.
I mean, we started kind of dating in what? March?
Yeah.
Yeah, March.
Yeah.
So we met in December.
Mm-hmm.
So December, February.
Oh. Okay, so you didn't start. So you didn't move in right
I
away.
Really, just skipped January.
You did.
Wow. December, January, February. So 3 months into the 4th month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So okay, but we weren't dating then. We only started actually dating in March, though. So okay, so maybe you didn't move in right away, but I would love to hear your side of the story of how this came about.
Okay. Yeah, because that's definitely not how I remember it. I mean, I guess kind of in a way, but it was more gradual than that. It's not just like I came over one day and just never left. That's definitely not how it happened. Anyway, so as we mentioned in other podcasts, like we were in school. She lived very close to the school, like literally down the street. Like we would hang out, and I'd go back to her place. We'd have lunch or we'd have dinner or whatever, hang out, do homework. And then some nights after months of us like hanging out and, kind of seeing each other for a bit. Mm-hmm. Eventually, I was able to sleep over. The first time I tried it, she sent me home. As you may have saw in Meet the Parents video.
No, it wasn't how we met.
Was it?
Yeah, it was how we met.
Oh, well, there you go. But yeah.
He doesn't even remember.
Anyway, so yeah, eventually I started being able to sleep over. She allowed me to sleep over, and then we just go to school the next morning, right? But that was like once a week, maybe twice a week. But eventually, over time, yes, I did end up staying over more often because it was just easier. Like I lived like half an hour away from the school. You lived down the street. If like at the time, if I had to take the bus, it was literally an hour to get there. Mm-hmm. And you'd have to take a transfer, and yeah, it was no fun.
That's how long it took me to bike to work.
Yeah. But yeah, so I mean, it was just easy, right? It was just easy to sleep over and then go to school in the morning. And then, yeah, like over time, I just
never
started bringing a few things over, like extra clothes to stay. And then, yeah, I guess eventually, yes, I stayed and never left.
Had the toothbrush out and everything.
But it wasn't all me. She didn't want me to leave. Over time. At first, yes. At first, she's like, you got to go home now. I'm tired of you. I need my alone time again.
But see, that's the benefit, though, of living alone. If you guys live alone, let me know this is not like one of the main benefits is the alone time. Like, and people use up all your social energy coming home to just you, peace and quiet. Maybe you got a dog, maybe you got a cat or something. But coming home is just, it's just nice feeling, you know?
Yeah. And I mean, I do agree with that. And you were living by yourself for about 4 years, right?
Mhm.
So I can see why it was hard to allow someone to actually stay with you and not have that alone time anymore. So
Yeah.
I can understand why you would want me to go home at the start. But yeah, like I said, eventually, I think you started to grow accustomed to having me around
Mhm.
and
Helping me buy groceries and
yeah, like little things like just to have someone to talk to vent um, to cook with, because we did a lot of cooking together.
Mhm.
Like we started doing like pretty much everything together.
Yeah.
And I think we both kind of just got accustomed to each other being around. And that's just kind of how it happened, I think.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm sticking with my version.
Yes, but it was gradual. Like I said, it wasn't just like one night came over and never left. You can't just say it like that. I think there were some other like benefits to us actually like living together though.
Mhm. Yeah, I would definitely say like, you know, financially, like I said, he helped me buy some groceries. If I needed anything like feminine products or something, he would help me buy those.
Mhm.
Because, you know, when you're in school, you know, you don't have much money and things like that. Definitely shout out to my parents for helping me and feeding me whenever I came home and bring like 3 bags of food worth back to Sudbury. So shout out to them as well. But yeah, Kurtis, staying with you really helped me. I think financially, it broke down some bills and definitely rent. So that was definitely a plus of us staying together. But you know, when he started moving in, that was like my spot. And then we moved out and we moved to another spot. And he was like, oh, do you want to move in with me in this spot? And at first I was hesitant because, you know, that's where I lived. I loved it. You know, I had my 1 bedroom. It was just me. And it was the size of a 1 person, literally only 1 person, I think. We actually have vlogs are on the Me and Kurtis channel of, you know, you can see the apartment. It's not that big. But yeah, when we moved into the next spot, do you remember?
I do.
This spot almost broke us up. I don't think if we had stayed there, there would have been no This Thing of Ours podcast. This wouldn't be a thing if we didn't move from that apartment.
Yeah, I think we were there for just under or just over a year. It was around a year anyway. And the first few months, we moved in winter. We moved in November or December. I don't remember exactly, but we moved there. It was winter time. I remember the day we moved, it was snowing. And
we always seem to move in winter. Have you noticed that?
I know.
This is going to be the first year we haven't moved in winter.
But yeah, I don't know. The first few months were fine-ish. But then spring came along and bugs started coming out.
I don't think it was spring. I could have sworn it started in winter, no?
No, it was when things started getting a little bit damper. The snow started melting. Yeah. And then we found out the house
had an infestation of bugs.
Yes.
You know, I'm not going to go there because you can see this is already getting heated from the sound of my voice. It's bringing back memories. But one thing I will remember is the landlord telling me to get a cat. That is the one thing. I think that was my breaking point is when the landlord told me to get a cat. And then from that moment, I was like, yeah, I'm done. I'm moving.
Yeah. But that was the apartment we actually did get Trumpet in.
Yeah, it was.
We didn't get a cat. We ended up getting Trumpet. We got a dog. And
it's funny because after we got Trumpet, I really didn't see that many bugs after. So Trumpet was probably eating them.
Yep.
Yeah, we moved from there. It was also very dark. Like the windows were very, very tiny.
It was a house, but the house was split vertically. So we had an upstairs and we had a downstairs, but the kitchen was in the basement. And really the only upstairs part was the bedroom. Yeah. Right.
And the bedroom had no doors. So no privacy.
It was like we had a spiral staircase that went up.
Yeah, that was really nice.
And Yeah, when we moved in, actually, we kind of renovated a little bit and did make it look nicer than it was, but it was still not great.
Yeah. I feel like that was a huge test to our relationship. If we survived this, I think we can survive anything. That really caused a lot of arguments. And the thing I think that caused a lot of arguments was that there was no difference in price. Like, it wasn't like it was cheaper. It was the same price as I was paying when I was living by myself with one bedroom, and I had a bigger living room with a kitchen. So I didn't really see like a benefit of living in a dark spot. Because
it was a house, we had an actual driveway instead of just a parking spot at a building. It was a bigger bedroom. It was the kitchen. We had more cupboard space and little things like that, but I don't think the benefits outweighed the cons. The pros outweighed the cons.
My breaking point though was the bugs.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that would have been anyone's breaking point. But then we moved because the person sold their house and we were both looking for our own spots. We had enough of each other. So we were actually not together at that moment. And we were looking. No, we were not together. I was looking for a whole new spot by myself. Your girl was fed up.
I did too. I actually went and saw a few apartments.
You saw a few apartments?
Yeah, I did. And it was actually closer to I was working about half an hour away from where we were living at that time. Like, considered kind of the south end of Sudbury. So I looked out there and I actually did see a couple spots.
Yeah. And I was also looking in the south end. Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, we ended up finding another spot.
And ended up back together.
It was actually a very nice building. The apartment was nice, but it was not the way we planned. Like, we actually went and seen multiple spots.
Yeah. And I was really excited from moving from a spot you weren't happy with to finding a spot where you're like, wow, I really like it.
Yeah, it was very nice. And we did put our money down on it on, I think, a Friday night.
Yeah.
And then we get a call. I think it was Monday morning.
Yeah, I was at work. Yeah. The guy called me, the guy that wasn't helping us anymore. He actually ended up calling me and was saying, I just want to let you know that you put your money on apartment that was already taken. And I was like, what do you mean? How could that happen? And he was like, we didn't update the system. So two people, put the exact same deposit on the same apartment. And we were like, well, who put it first? And it was the other couple.
So long story short, they ended up not giving us that unit.
Yeah.
And
we settled for a spot, basically.
Yeah. We ended up finding, it was in the same building actually, but lower level. We were supposed to be on the top level of this building.
For a cheaper price.
Yeah, for a cheaper price. Well, was it?
Yeah, it was. It was supposed to be cheaper because it wasn't renovated. It was an older style.
I don't know. I liked it. Trumpet loved it because we had a nice big balcony until the people above us moved in. Do you remember?
No, what happened, actually? I don't remember.
So summer came along.
Oh, with AC.
They set their AC unit because the building didn't have AC. So you had to get a portable unit if you wanted AC. They got one. And some AC units, they drain water, right? Like you need to drain the water. Tell me how this couple stuck their hose out their window and this thing went off every half an hour to an hour, splashing our balcony.
Wait, the funny part is the reason why he's saying is this because one time we were actually outside eating dinner and we just started feeling a little tinkle, and it was really hot, no clouds, sunny. Nothing. And then all of a sudden we just felt something wet and we're like, what the hell is this? What the hell's happening? And we knew they had dogs above us, but we knew it couldn't be pee. Oh, that's what we were hoping for. But but then all of a sudden we started seeing this little orange looking hose that was hanging down we could see from our balcony. And then we're like, what is that? Why is there water coming from it?
Yeah.
And that's how we discovered that they were just letting water out of their AC onto our balcony
Mm-hmm.
because we were eating dinner and we got wet
Yep.
from their AC.
Yeah, all the condensation, the AC built up, I guess it just automatically drained out every half an hour to an hour. And like this is when like COVID was happening, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we were both not working. Everybody was locked down. So yeah, that's what we wanted to do. We wanted to hang out on the balcony and, you know, enjoy the weather because it was summer and
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Yeah.
but we couldn't.
But then after we moved again, and this time, you know, we decided that we need to agree on a spot and we weren't going to settle for it. You actually found this one. I didn't know that this one existed. This one was nice. It was cheaper and we actually got two parking spots for one price, which was really nice.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, long story short, we ended up, you know, moving out to Ottawa just because, you know, I found a job out here and then we both decided that, you know, we should move. Mm-hmm. And we moved once again in negative 40-degree weather. And that's Celsius.
We moved in January. So we ended up here in Ottawa in January of this year, 2022.
Yeah. And yeah, we've been here ever since. And this is like a spot where, I don't know, I kind of feel like home here. Mm-hmm. And I really, really do like it. And this is our first year actually decorating with Christmas decorations.
We've always kind of put up a tree, but we never really decorated too much.
Yeah.
Like we mentioned earlier, haven't decorated outside yet.
Mm-hmm. Well, we put up a wreath.
Yes, we do have a wreath on the door. Mm-hmm. But that's all we have outside so far.
We decided on a budget for Christmas and we're like, okay, we're not going over this budget. And I really wanted like a new tree with like, you know, some fake snow on it to make it look pretty and everything. So that's kind of like what we decided that we're going to do with our little decoration budgeting for Christmas. Yeah. I know America's Thanksgiving is coming up. Mm-hmm. So
next week, I think.
Yeah. Do you guys decorate before Thanksgiving or after Thanksgiving? Because I feel like for me, it feels weird to have decorations up already in November and instead of waiting for like, you know, December, waiting for the Christmas music. And
well, we have started to hear in some places they have Christmas music playing.
Mm-hmm.
I think, where were we? Were we at the pet store?
Yeah, we were.
Yeah. Yeah, they started playing Christmas music. But yeah, it's going to start very soon. I think December 1st is when like every store you go into has Christmas music.
I love Christmas music. My favorite song is Let It Snow by Boyz II Men. And also Merry Christmas, Happy Holiday by NSYNC. Let me know what your favorite Christmas song is.
She likes every Christmas song. She'd be playing Christmas music all day long if she could.
I would. I definitely would. All right. So anyways, yeah, but other than that this is our first spot technically that we are both excited and we actually haven't fought
about the spot.
Like I know like financial situations can, you know, break people up and things like that. But like, you know, a part of is where you're living as well. Mm-hmm. You know, the stress of the environment can definitely cause a couple to break up.
But yeah, like that's another thing too. Like I think society's kind of standards on like moving in together, like you see it in movies and little things like that, right? They say you should technically get married before moving in, and then after you move in, then you think about having kids, and there's almost like a timeline to follow. But for me personally, I think it's benefited us to move in together first before doing those things.
But it kind of just happened that way. It really just did it. Like we didn't plan it. And I think it worked in our favor because not only financially, not only cooking, it's also like, you know, having someone to talk to and, you know, you being there for like stressful situations. I know someone doesn't have to live with you to help you with that, but
there are a lot of benefits, I think, of living with your partner first. Like live with someone first. You get to know who the person truly is.
Yeah.
And you get to see the good side and the bad side of that person.
That's true. You get to see what behind closed doors, what they're really like.
Yeah. So I think there are some pros to actually moving in together, but regardless, however you want to do it, it's totally up to you.
Yeah.
I just think for me, I do prefer to know who I'm gonna end up marrying.
See, you're the first guy that I've lived with. You know, I've lived with 5 other girls when I lived in dorms. It was a hot mess. It was a hot mess.
Worse than it was.
No. I would
wash my hair and there'd be like one strand in the tub that I missed. And that was like the end of the world.
You can see if it's going to work or not. Mm-hmm. You know, like, for example, you know, your partner may just drop his clothes anywhere, and knowing that rightfully that he has a basket right there that you can drop his clothes inside the basket. Or, you know, you may be living with someone that will just throw their dishes in the sink knowing that the dishwasher is clean and it has to be empty. Mm. So even if you live with roommates, you know, like some people have bad roommates like that, you know, and it's hard to live with other people, I think. And I think when you live by yourself, you get to see what you like and what you want in a roommate. And you just hope that, you know, the partner or whoever it is kind of will adapt to that. And I feel like that's kind of like where roommates will clash, because like they're not used to living a certain life, like cleaning up after themselves or cooking, you know, or things like that. So do you think you only truly know someone after you live with them?
Yes, I do think that is true, because everyone has little things that they kind of do behind closed doors, mm-hmm. right? When you're in public and when you know you're out, or even if it is someone just coming to visit you or you're going to visit them, you almost do act slightly differently than when you're in your home and you're comfortable. Yeah. And you know it's just you. And over time, you will get more comfortable with that person, right? Mm-hmm. So then at the first couple months or whatever, when you first move in together, yes, it might still be as if they just came over. Mm-hmm. But over time, after maybe the first year or whatever, you'll start seeing those little habits that they were kind of holding back on. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right? Because, you know, at the start, when he first started coming over, I was cooking a little bit. Sorry. God is like, stop lying, you weren't cooking.
Yeah, she would make me plates of food. Yeah. Put it on the table for me.
When he started coming over, and then, you know, he would wash the dishes and, you know, make it seem like he loved to clean and I love to cook, and we were both lying to each other.
And now it's the opposite. I love to cook and she loves to clean. So it all worked out, but we were trying to be someone we weren't. We were kind of hiding who we truly were to try to impress each other, I think.
And over time, it was like the true colors were showing.
Yeah. But it's a good thing that we ended up showing our true colors, and it ended up kind of benefiting us both, because let's say you actually liked cooking and I was the one pretending to like to clean, and no one actually liked cleaning, it would have just been a hot mess.
I remember when I went home, my mom gave me like I think it was beef. She cooked me some beef. And I love the way she makes it. When Kurtis finished his class, he was like, oh, can I come over? I was like, yeah, sure, come over. So what I did was I emptied my mom's beef onto a plate, put some rice, put some frozen vegetables, pop that in the microwave. And then when he came over, he's like, oh, wow, you made me beef? I'm like, yeah, I made beef. You can cook. This is really good. I'm like, yeah, I know how to cook beef.
Like a nice meal. Like it was like prepared to the T.
He's like, you really make all this? I was like, yeah, I know how to cook.
Little did I know.
It was actually my mom who made that beef. And I just popped it in the microwave. Telling him I made
the lies of a fresh relationship. But yeah, obviously, like we said, over time, those things do fade away, and you end up being who you truly are, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, you have someone to help take care of you, someone to talk to, vent to, you know, it helps with your mental health, little things, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's not all good.
No.
There are some negatives.
What's negative in living with me?
Being told what to do all the time.
What are you trying to say?
You're bossy.
No, I'm not. Take that back. I am not bossy. This is the first time I'm hearing I'm bossy after 6 years.
First time. I think we said this in multiple podcasts already. Why you acting brand new?
First of all, I am not bossy. Like I said, if we're cleaning, we have specific days designed for cleaning. And
Who made these days?
I did.
My point exactly. I do want to mention though, like once you start living with someone, like I'm going to be going back obviously to visit family. And I feel like that might be a tough time for you because I'll be gone for a whole week.
But trust me when I tell you I'm going to be doing a deep cleaning on these floors because Trumpet, I don't know, we wipe his feet when he comes in from outside, but somehow the floors still get dirty. So it'll be nice to enjoy a very, very clean house. Mm-hmm. That's like when when your kids leave. When your kids leave the house for a couple of days, you want to clean, you want to enjoy a clean house, the house to yourself. You're right. And then over time, it's like, oh, I will miss you. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Like you get used to having that person around and doing those little things for you. Right.
Yeah, that's true.
Like you do things for me and I do things for you. And I guess that is a little bit of a negative that you end up becoming slightly dependent on that person. Once you start living together.
Yeah. Sorry, got it. So when did you guys move in with your significant other, or when did you get a roommate? Do you like your roommate? How did you guys have good roommate experiences? I will say this, about 99% of the time, I really did enjoy living with 5 girls. It was definitely an experience, and it was my first one and my last, but I really did enjoy it.
I've never actually lived by myself. I've always either lived at my mom's house or I lived with a friend. I never actually had my own spot.
There's lots of benefits, to living by yourself, though. There really is. Like, you get to see your own slobbiness. So I always lived with sisters, right? And if one of us didn't replace anything, we'd be like, oh, it was this person that didn't replace it. But then, secretly it was actually you who didn't replace it. And then when you move by yourself, you realize that, girl, you were the slob, not your sisters. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
yeah, I guess it makes sense. You end up being able to see your own faults, right? Of the little things that you actually do, because who else is there to blame?
Exactly, yeah. Did you have any bad roommates?
Yes. There were a few.
Any roommate scary stories you want to tell?
For another podcast. We can talk about that.
Okay.
But yes, I definitely have some stories of people I've lived with. Yep. There was definitely some highs and lows to different people that I lived with. See, for me, I'm lucky because I never got to experience that. And I'm very grateful. I know that a lot of people do go through this horror of roommates. I don't know. Let us know if you guys have any horror stories. If you lived with a partner or a friend, are you still friends with that person? Because I know a lot of people say never move in with your best friend. I don't know if that's true or not, but I never did. So let me know how that went. And yeah, I feel like we were saying earlier, you end up seeing their true side. So I think they say that because sometimes you end up clashing with that person. You see their bad side and it's not something you've seen before. Yeah. So I think, yes, it's a negative, but it's also a positive because at the end of the day, you kind of do need to see that. So that was our story time of how we moved in, and let us know if you guys enjoyed this topic. Let us know if you can relate to us on this topic. If you moved in or if you had scary roommates, let us know in the comment section below. We love to talk to you guys. If you have any topics, don't be shy. If you guys want to share your story, feel free to comment, the pros and cons, if it benefited your relationship, if it ended up breaking up a relationship.
Even
in
if
the
it's with
past.
friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, even if it's with your friend or a roommate, let us know how that went as well. If you like this podcast, hit that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with your friends and family. You're more than welcome to. And we'll see you again in the next podcast.
Yes. So have a good day, and we're off.
Peace. We're always waiting for the Monday, the new week. And it's like, why are we always waiting for a Monday?